All right, so another day, another pit. I'm focusing on unit 42 right now. This is a pit that runs, it's just west of 50th Street. Matter of fact, 50th Street is, you can see it just right up there. This is what we're looking at. Some structure in the water right there. Looks like there's some stumps and stuff. This is more like one of the pits around Pittsburgh, except the clear bank over there. Hey, speaking of banks, if you're into bank fishing, this one here really seems to have a lot of possibilities. I mean, definitely use insect repellent to keep the ticks and stuff from climbing up your legs, but as you can tell on the map, it does show that this has a boat launch, but it's a gray one, so that means, like, you know, just gravel. And this one here is, I would definitely not recommend putting a bass boat in this pit. So this is more like a pit for kayakers and light utility kind of boats. I tried rolling my little boat in right here. Didn't work very well, so I took it over to a steeper incline and drier ground, and I made it. So I get to fish this. I guess I need a little bit bigger wheels on the back of this thing. Something like lawnmower wheels that are inflated. Anyway, I'm gonna see what this pit has to offer. I haven't checked to see if it's one of the pits that Connor's gone through and graphed the depth of it. I doubt it would be, because he has a big boat he's got to put in here, and that's probably not conducive to putting a big boat in this place. But anyway, let's see what it has. Here we go. So I did a video when I was fishing out of Big Brutus, unit 44. Stopped by the Strip Pit Bait and Tackle store, and man, they have lots of lures, and this one caught my eye. It's a gem blade, I think is what it's called. A double willow leaf spinner bait with that nice bluegilly kind of look to it. I gotta try this. I just think that it's gonna be good. Oh, and I need to check my app too and see if this is on there, but I doubt it is. Okay, so this pit has not been grafted. I didn't figure it would be, because, you know, it doesn't have a good boat launch for a big boat like they need to do that. So, just kind of back to the basics. Hope and pray. Well, so far, I just had a little bitty bass. I've had 2 bass hit my sexy shad, and they were probably, one was about maybe 9, and that one was maybe 8 inches. So, they like the sexy shad. Now, if I just get the bigger ones to see the same joy and excitement in it that those little guys have, it'll be fine. So, just to give you an idea of what this pit has to offer structure-wise, there were a couple of brush piles back there that I'm pretty sure were put in there through the Kansas Department of Fish and Wildlife, Parks and Wildlife, because they're just too, I don't know, too neatly organized in a big pile. It's like beavers didn't do that. You got some stuff like this here in the water. I like the nice undulating bank that goes down through here, so you have points and pockets that you can fish over there. By the way, I don't know if you can see it that well. I'll be over there closer when I come down that side, but this pit looks to be at least 4 feet down. So that right there would be in the water, underwater. So, man, we need rain. At least there's clouds today, and there's a chance of rain, but we need like a lot of rain to get these things to come back up. I don't know how long it's going to take. Hopefully someday they will be back up to where they're supposed to be. But as it stands right now, they're a long way from it. And yes, I know I bought that new little spinnerbait thing, and I'm sure it'll be great, but anybody who fishes for bass knows that you can end up with a lure that you just have a lot of faith in. It doesn't matter what water you're fishing. You're going to go with it until proven otherwise. And this is off to a bad start for me as far as putting this lure down, because when you get a couple of bites, you know, it's like, okay, they like it, so hopefully other fish will like it too. And we'll find out. So I redid my rod holder thing because when I did it I was in a hurry, of course. And the only way that what I used to keep my rods from, you know, sliding down, I just had some screws in these white boards here. But I went ahead and put these little stops on here. And now, picking up a rod, putting it in, picking up a rod, putting it in, it don't go anywhere. So, pretty happy with that little addition to my boat. So believe it or not, I'm putting down my Sexy Shad deep diving crankbait, and I'm going to go back to using this, the Gym Blade. The only thing I noticed about it, it is definitely not weedless. If you get it around brush, it's going to hang up. Look at this. Uh-oh. Oh, there's something on it. Oh, it bit my tail off. Well, that's not cool. I like this particular trailer. Yeah, I've got others that I can put on there, but it's not the same, you know what I mean? Fiddlesticks. And so we've made it to the back of this pit. I do believe that if the water is up where it's supposed to be, you could probably go right through that pass with a shallow draft boat like this, or a kayak or whatever, to another pit that's back there. But I don't have that ability right now, so we'll just head on back down that other bank, and then I'm sure I'm going to have some time I can go back and try some areas that I tried with just one bait, try a different bait in there, and we'll see. Cut it off too soon. I believe there's a little bluegill, or nice bluegill. By the way, speaking of bluegill, I saw some really nice bluegill come swimming out from the shoreline. So if you're, oh, there's something over there. Hey, maybe I got the right idea. Except I'm sure that wasn't a very big bass. And I'd really like to catch some big bass, you know? It's definitely got stuff going up against the bank over there. Jumpy much, Paul? Back off of this place just a little bit. Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, they're just like big warmouth or big bluegill popping this thing. There was a fish that just attacked a minnow and knocked it out of the water onto the bank right about where I cast. Little guys. Little guys, I've seen this story before. Well, there is bass in here. I hope there's bigger ones than that, but anyway. It's on all. Oh, it's high noon, sort of, testing their tornado sirens. Or maybe they saw me catch that little bass and they're coming after me. So, it kind of looks like if I was an adventurous soul, had pants on and shoes, bug spray, I could probably, and it wasn't as muddy as it is, I could probably roll my boat through to the other side. If you have a kayak, I have no doubt in my mind that you could take your kayak through to the other side of this and do some more fishing. But anyway, this is the very back end of it, and nice structure in the water. I can turn around and look back. There's two brush piles there on the left, and the boat ramp is, or where I launched, is just right past that. So as I say, it's not a really big pit, but man, there's some nice bluegill in here. So if you like bluegill, just pan fishing, this would be a good place to come to, I would say, with a kayak or a little john boat, something you can, carry to the water's edge. Still not giving up on the fact that there wouldn't be some nice bass in here, of course. Man, I'm thinking it's either little bass or big bluegill that are just pecking away on this thing. Man, but they got to be little because they're not taking, they're hitting it, but they're not. I mean, you look at the profile of this bait. You got the hook hiding underneath the spinners, but that shouldn't really matter. But this long tail sticking out, they'd be grabbing that tail and doing everything they want with it. I'll never pay a price. Ooh, something moved it. He came back and definitely got it. Another little bass. That's a little bass. Keep that in mind. 3 years from now, it's a big gold mine. Big bass. Definitely have the structure. Whoa! Definitely have the structure in here for big bass to be able to ambush stuff. Oh, he came and took that down too. Nary a sign that he had it, except it just disappeared. That's how big bass do it. Anyway, they're getting a little bit bigger. Thanks, buddy. There you go. Topwater bite's always fun. So that was the biggest so far, and I'd say maybe 10 inches, 11 inches, something like that. But man, it hit the water and then it just disappeared. That's the way big bass did. Just this has got to be a bluegill. Oh yeah. Yeah. Aggressive. What a pretty fish. Look at the colors on his fins. I think it's a warmouth. Definitely a feisty little guy. I knew it was just a matter of time before one of them would mess up and not be able to get rid of the hook. Well, unfortunately, I was tying on a little, it's a small version of the bass Reno, like the Babe Reno. But while I was doing that, there's a bluegill right there. About a 12-inch bass that just went swimming right on by, like I wasn't even here. Oh, he came off again. What is the deal, man? I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm just not setting the hook with this dude. Normally that's never been a problem. That was probably the biggest one I had today, which isn't saying a lot because it wasn't that big, but it'd be nice to actually get it into the boat so I can take it off the hook and say I caught it. Hopefully this shows up. You can see the kind of structure that this pit has. So the bottom, you know, is just like a silt bottom. But I can see my jig bouncing along, kicking up little clouds of dust. And of course there's logs like this. So that's what, if you come here to fish, that's what you have to look forward to. That kind of structure. Guess what? I actually have a nice fish on here for a change. Oopsie daisy. Wow, yeah, not bad. All right, so let's see. Hey, wow. Wow, about a 15-incher. That's nice. Way to go. Thank you, buddy. Oh, here we go. Not a big one, of course. Ooh, bouncing up and down. But, well, that one jumped out of my hand before I had a chance to show you a pretty picture of it after I got him undone. But anyway, he is probably, what, another 10 or 11-incher. Well, there you have it, the first pit that I've explored in Unit 44. It's a really interesting pit. I mean, I guess I like the fact that there's not a whole lot of weeds to contend with. It has a lot of brush in the water. It has lots of feisty little fish, and at least one, you know, kind of all right bass. There goes a bass cruising right there. But it was fun. I came, I conquered, and now you decide if you want to come out here and give it a try as well. Like I say, it's a primitive boat launch, so looks like somebody had put a boat in on a trailer. Enter at your own risk, I guess. Oh, there's a bass. I see a bass down there on the bottom, just kind of hanging out. Anyway, so it'd be a fun place to come. If you had a John boat, and if you had a kid that wanted to come out and catch some, you know, fish, a lot of fish on worms and bobbers and stuff, this would be the place. But I think I've worked up a pretty good thirst. I think maybe I'll stop by that Strip Pit Bait and Tackle and get me something cold to drink for heading home. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing and commenting. I appreciate it. And the one that I'm going to do next, tomorrow I believe, is right down that road. There's another pit right over there, and according to the map it has a concrete boat ramp. So before I leave, I'm going to kind of take a look at it, so I'll have in mind what it looks like, and I'll show you tomorrow. Anyway, thanks for watching. be sure you get out and enjoy this great outdoors that we have here, and take your kid with you. It's a good thing. Till later. Bye.